Did you know that your body hosts more microbes than human cells? Think of it as a tiny universe inside you, full of life and activity. These microbes are not just hitchhikers. They're essential to your health, digestion, and even your mood. Every breath, every bite, every moment of your life is shaped by this unseen world inside you. So, what exactly is the microbiome, and why should you care? Let's take a journey into the fascinating world inside you. So, what exactly are we talking about? The microbiome is not just a fancy term. It's the collection of microbes living inside and on our bodies. These microbes include bacteria, fungi, viruses, and even some archaea. They're everywhere. On our skin, in our mouths, in our gut, and even in our lungs. These microbes outnumber our own human cells by 10 to 1. And they're not just hitchhiking. They're essential for our health. These microbes help break down food, produce vitamins, and even influence our immune system. They're not passive. They are active participants in our daily lives, constantly interacting with our bodies. But it's not just about the microbes themselves. The microbiome is a complex ecosystem, with each microbe playing a unique role, and the balance among them is key to our overall well-being. So, when we talk about the microbiome, we're talking about a whole world inside us. Tiny, complex, and deeply connected to who we are. It's like having a second nervous system operating in real time, all without us even noticing. Your microbiome is more than just a collection of bacteria. It's a powerful partner in your health, influencing everything from your digestion to your mood. Think of it as your body's personal ecosystem, where trillions of microbes work together in a delicate balance to keep you thriving. Your microbiome also plays a key role in training your immune system, helping it distinguish between friend and foe. In short, your microbiome is a silent, powerful force shaping your well-being, something you should care about, whether you realize it or not. The microbiome has been with us since the dawn of life on Earth, evolving alongside our planet for billions of years. Long before humans existed, microbes were the first organisms, shaping the very environment that would eventually give rise to complex life. As life diversified, microbes colonized every corner of the planet, deep oceans, soil, and even the atmosphere, becoming the invisible engines of ecosystems. They were the foundation of food chains and the drivers of nutrient cycles. Throughout history, humans have unknowingly lived in symbiosis with these microscopic allies. From the first hunter-gatherers to agrarian societies, microbes shaped digestion, immunity, and even the development of the brain. It wasn't until the 20th century that scientists began to grasp the true scale of the microbiome. With advances in technology, we've moved from seeing microbes as pests to understanding them as essential partners in our survival. Today, we're uncovering how the microbiome influences everything from our mental health to our resistance to disease. It's a frontier of science that's reshaping what we know about life itself. Imagine a tiny universe inside your body, full of tiny helpers. These helpers are called microbes, and they live in your gut, skin, and even your mouth. These microbes are like tiny workers who help you digest food and keep your body healthy. Some even help your brain think better. Your microbiome is like a fingerprint. It's unique to you, and it changes as you grow, eat, and even sleep. Taking care of your microbiome means eating healthy, staying clean, and being kind to your tiny friends inside. So next time you eat, remember, you're not just feeding yourself. You're feeding the whole tiny world inside you. So where does this whole process begin? It starts with our bodies, specifically the moment we're born. Our first breath introduces a whole new world of microbes into our lives. The skin, the mouth, the nose, every surface of our body is a potential landing spot for microbes. Some of them are already there, passed down from our mothers, while others arrive with the first breath. Once these microbes find a home, they begin to settle in. They seek out the right conditions, like moisture, nutrients, and a warm environment to thrive and multiply. As they settle in, some will form colonies, and others will join forces with other microbes. This is the beginning of a complex ecosystem, one that will grow and evolve with us throughout our lives. This setup is the first step in building our microbiome, a community of microbes that will shape our health, our digestion, and even our mood in ways we're only beginning to understand. Once the microbes enter our body, they start to colonize the surfaces where food and liquids come into contact, like the lining of our stomach and intestines. These surfaces are covered in tiny folds and pockets, perfect for microbes to settle and multiply. As they settle, they begin to communicate with each other using chemical signals. This exchange helps them coordinate their behavior, like sending messages to start building communities or defending against threats. Over time, these colonies grow and become complex communities. Some microbes break down food into nutrients, others fight off harmful invaders, and some even help regulate the immune system, all working together in a delicate balance. The key to this teamwork is the exchange of nutrients and signals. By sharing resources and information, the microbes create a kind of ecosystem that thrives inside us, supporting our health and digestion. This is the second step in the microbiome's journey, from entry to colonization. It's a complex, coordinated process that sets the stage for how the microbiome will support our body's functions in the days and years to come. Now, the clever twist comes when some microbes team up with others. They form partnerships that let them do things none could do alone, like breaking down tough materials or surviving harsh conditions. These microbial partnerships are like a relay race. One microbe does the first task, passes the job to another, and together they complete complex processes the human body needs. In some cases, microbes even share genetic material through a process called horizontal gene transfer. This lets them quickly adapt and evolve in response to environmental changes. This ability to share and adapt makes the microbiome incredibly resilient. It's like having a team of microbe experts working together to keep you healthy and ready for any challenge. Beneath the skin, inside the gut, the microbiome thrums with a symphony of life. Every second, trillions of bacteria are communicating, exchanging signals, and even influencing the body's chemistry. It's not just a collection of microbes. It's a dynamic, living ecosystem. These microbes are not just passive inhabitants. They're actively shaping our metabolism, immune system, and even our mood. They produce vitamins, break down food, and send chemical messages to the brain through the gut-brain axis. Scientists are now using advanced sequencing and imaging tools to map this complex world, revealing how microbes interact with each other and with human cells. It's like building a map of a hidden city, one microbe at a time. This science is not just theoretical. It's already changing how we approach health, disease, and even mental well-being. The microbiome is no longer a mystery. It's becoming a central part of medicine and personal wellness. Imagine your gut as a bustling city, with trillions of people living and working in harmony. Each one has a job, and together, they keep the city running smoothly. Some are the chefs, making sure the food is broken down and nourishing. Others are the engineers, building and maintaining the systems that let everything flow. This city isn't just busy. It's alive, with its own rules, its own culture, and its own way of thriving. It's all happening in your gut, right now. So next time you feel bloated, gassy, or just out of sorts, think of it as your city sending a message. It's trying to tell you something. The microbiome is like that city. Complex, powerful, and worth understanding. And it's all inside you, right now. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. Did you know that the first living things on Earth were tiny, invisible, and completely alien to us? They didn't need sunlight, food, or even a brain. Just water, chemistry, and a few billion years. These microbes were the first to harness the power of the planet, turning rock and air into life. They didn't just survive. They shaped the world we live in today. But here's the twist. We're all made of the same stuff they are. Our cells, our DNA, our very bodies. They're built from the same ancient blueprints that those microbes first used. So the next time you feel like you're the center of the universe, remember, you're just a tiny, complex version of the first life that ever existed. So what exactly are we talking about? We're diving into the ancient world, way before humans ever existed. It's a time when the Earth was still young, and life was just beginning to take shape. The first forms of life were not complex creatures, but simple, single-celled organisms. These were the earliest microbes, tiny, invisible, yet incredibly powerful in shaping the planet's future. These microbes were the first to harness sunlight, to break down chemicals, and to evolve in ways that would eventually lead to all the life we know today. They were the building blocks of everything that came after. We're not just talking about bacteria or archaea. These were the first life forms to exist, and they laid the groundwork for more complex organisms, including plants, animals, and eventually humans. So, when we talk about the origins of life, we're really talking about the rise of these tiny ancient organisms, microbes that shaped the planet and set the stage for everything that followed. You might think microbes are just tiny, invisible bugs, but they're actually the reason you're alive today. Every breath you take, every heartbeat, every cell in your body traces back to those ancient microbes. Microbes built the first oceans, shaped the first continents, and even helped create the oxygen we breathe. They're the architects of our planet's very life support system. The same microbes that once lived in the primordial soup are still in your gut, helping you digest food, fight disease, and even influence your mood. They're not just part of you, they're you. Understanding microbes isn't just about ancient history. It's about understanding your own biology. They've shaped evolution, and they're still shaping your future. So next time you take a breath, remember, you're breathing in a legacy of life that's older than the Earth itself. You're not just living, microbes are living through you. Imagine a world without stars, without oceans, just a molten rock spinning in the dark. That's Earth 4.5 billion years ago. A planet still cooling, but already hosting the first sparks of life. Then came the primordial soup. Water, ammonia, methane, and lightning. These simple ingredients danced in the early oceans, setting the stage for the first organic molecules to form. Then came the first microbes, simple, single-celled organisms that could grow, divide, and adapt. They thrived in the oceans, evolving in a world without oxygen, in a time before anything else. Over billions of years, these microbes diversified, evolved, and transformed the planet. They created the oxygen we breathe and laid the foundation for everything that came after. And yet, they're still here. The same microbes that first emerged 3.8 billion years ago are still thriving today, unseen, yet essential to the web of life we depend on. So imagine a world before you, way before you, where there was no sky, no land, just water and heat. In that soup, tiny, simple things began to form, like little bubbles that could make their own food. Over millions of years, these tiny things got more complex, and eventually, the first animals and plants appeared. But even now, the simplest life forms are still around, like the bacteria that live in your gut and help you feel good. So, in the end, we're all made of the same tiny, ancient things that started life in that first wild, bubbling soup. To start, imagine a primordial soup: water, gases, and energy, where simple chemicals began to form. This wasn't a soup like what you cook, but a rich, reactive mix in early Earth's atmosphere. In this environment, lightning and UV radiation acted like nature's spark plugs, sapping molecules into more complex forms. These reactions created the first building blocks of life: amino acids and nucleotides. As these molecules accumulated, they began to form microscopic structures, like tiny membranes, capable of trapping and protecting the chemicals inside. This was the first step toward creating a living cell. These early membranes weren't just walls, they were dynamic, allowing substances to flow in and out. This exchange of materials was essential for the development of metabolism, the process that fuels life. With the membrane in place, the next step was to get the right ingredients inside: proteins, DNA, and the machinery to replicate itself. This would take millions of years of evolution, but it all started with that first simple setup. Once the first self-replicating molecules formed, they needed a way to copy themselves reliably. This is where RNA came in, a flexible molecule that could both carry information and act as a catalyst. RNA could use simple chemicals to build more RNA, a kind of molecular bootstrapping. This allowed for small variations to arise, which is the first step toward evolution. These variations were random, but some were better at surviving in their environment. This is how natural selection began, favoring the molecules that copied themselves more effectively. Over time, these early RNA molecules evolved to form more complex systems. Some even gave rise to the first protocells, simple self-replicating units with membranes and basic chemistry. These protocells were the first living systems, capable of growth, replication, and adaptation. They set the stage for the next step: the emergence of DNA and more complex life. Now, here's the clever twist. Life didn't just appear from nothing. It built itself from simple chemical reactions that could happen in the early Earth's environment, like hot vents or shallow pools. These reactions created organic molecules, like amino acids and nucleotides, building blocks of life. But they didn't just sit there. They started linking up in long chains, like Lego bricks connecting automatically. And here's the magic. Some of these molecules could catalyze their own replication, like a self-driving factory. This created the first biological systems that could grow, adapt, and evolve. This wasn't a single moment. It was a process, a kind of chemical evolution. And from that, eventually, life as we know it began to take shape, starting with microscopic organisms that had no need for eyes, brains, or even cells. Just chemistry. Underneath the surface of the Earth, in the dark and warm ancient rock, life has been thriving for billions of years. These microbes, unseen by us, are the original architects of our planet's chemistry. They don't just survive, they drive the entire cycle of life on Earth, from the formation of oxygen to the cycling of carbon. Every breath we take has its roots in these tiny ancient organisms. What makes them so powerful? It's their ability to adapt, to evolve, and to thrive in the most extreme conditions. They are not just survivors, they are innovators. The science of these microbes is not just ancient, it's still active, still influencing our world today. They are the silent engines that keep life going. Understanding them isn't just about the past, it's about the future. Their secrets may hold the key to everything from climate change to medicine to the search for life beyond Earth. Imagine your body as a tiny, ancient battlefield. Every cell is a fortress, and the microbes inside are the soldiers. Some friendly, some sneaky, all essential for life. These microbes are not just passengers, they're the original architects of your body. They've been here since the dawn of life, long before you ever blinked. Even your brain isn't just your own. It's shaped by the microbes that call it home, influencing your thoughts and behavior in ways we're only beginning to understand. So, the next time you feel tired, stressed, or hungry, remember, your body isn't just yours. It's a shared home with millions of ancient, tiny allies. This is why we're not just humans. We're a collection of life, living together in a dance that's been going on for billions of years. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. You wake up feeling sluggish, foggy, and out of sorts. It's not just a bad night's sleep. Your body is sending a message, but you're not sure what it is. What if the source of that discomfort isn't your mind, but your gut? What if the real problem is hidden inside you, in the silent, complex world of your digestive system? Science is revealing that the connection between your gut and your brain is more than just a metaphor. It's a real biological link with profound implications for your mental and physical health. This isn't just about digestion. It's about how your body communicates with your mind, how your emotions affect your gut, and how your gut can influence your emotions in ways we're only beginning to understand. So what if the answers to some of your biggest questions about stress, mood, even memory lie not in your head, but in your gut? So what exactly are we talking about? It's not just about feeling butterflies in the stomach or a knot in your gut. We're discussing a complex two-way communication system between the gut and the brain. The gut is home to trillions of microbes, collectively called the microbiome, and they play a major role in shaping our mood, behavior, and even our thinking. These signals are not just physical. They influence our emotions, stress responses, and even our ability to concentrate and learn. This means that when we feel anxious, stressed, or even sad, our gut can react before we even realize it, and vice versa. Understanding this connection is key to unlocking a deeper, more holistic view of our health and well-being. You might think your brain is in charge, but the truth is, your gut is running the show in ways you never imagined. Every decision you make, every emotion you feel, is influenced by your gut, and it's been doing this since before you could even talk. From your first breath to your last, your gut is working behind the scenes, sending signals to your brain that shape your mood, your focus, and even your sense of self. It's not just a digestive system. It's a communication hub. When you feel anxious, tired, or distracted, it's not always your brain that's to blame. Your gut is sending those signals, and ignoring them could be costing you more than you realize. The gut-brain connection isn't just about feelings. It's about health, about performance, about how you show up in the world. And if you're not paying attention, you're missing out on a powerful, silent influence. So next time you're feeling off, don't just brush it off as stress. There's more going on, and understanding it could change the way you live, think, and feel for the better. For thousands of years, humans have felt that the gut and the mind are linked, but it wasn't until the early 20th century that science began to unravel this connection. In 1909, Walter Cannon introduced the concept of the visceral brain, suggesting that the gut could influence the body's responses before the brain even registered them. By the 1980s, scientists were starting to realize that the gut and brain communicate through chemical signals, with neurotransmitters like serotonin playing a key role. In the 21st century, the gut-brain connection has become a central focus in neuroscience and medicine, with research exploring everything from mood to mental health. What started as a feeling has now become a science, and it's reshaping how we understand ourselves. Imagine your brain as a spaceship, and your gut is the control room. Everything you feel, think, and do starts there. Inside the control room, there's a special team of workers called gut bacteria. They help run the spaceship, even when you're not paying attention. Sometimes, the team sends messages through the spaceship's nerves, telling your brain what's going on inside. That's how your gut and brain talk. Even when you don't realize it, it's like a secret conversation that shapes everything you feel. So, next time you feel sad, hungry, or worried, remember, your gut might be sending you a message you're not even hearing. The gut-brain connection begins with the gut itself, a complex ecosystem of trillions of microbes, each playing a role in digestion and more. This microbiome is not just a collection of bacteria. It's an intricate system that communicates with the brain through chemical signals and nerve pathways. These microbes produce neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which are vital for mood and cognition. In fact, over 90% of serotonin is made in the gut, yet we often think of it as a brain chemical. This shows how deeply connected these systems truly are. This setup is more than biological. It's a two-way conversation. The brain can influence gut function, and the gut can influence brain function. This mutual influence forms the foundation for the gut-brain connection we're exploring. Understanding this setup helps us see that the gut is not just a digestive organ, but a central player in mental health. It's the first step in understanding how the gut and brain work together in ways we are only beginning to uncover. The vagus nerve acts as a highway, carrying messages between the gut and the brain. It's like a silent, invisible bridge that links our digestion with our emotions. When the gut is inflamed or stressed, it sends signals through this nerve, which the brain then interprets as anxiety or depression. It's a biological conversation we're only beginning to understand. At the same time, the brain sends signals back down the vagus nerve to influence gut function, affecting digestions, immunity, and even gut bacteria balance. This two-way communication means our mental state can directly affect our digestion, and vice versa. It's a complex, interdependent relationship that shapes our health in ways we're only starting to explore. Now, here's the clever twist. The gut and brain don't just communicate. They influence each other in a loop. This two-way street means that what we eat can shape our mood, and our mood can shape what we eat. Imagine your gut as a silent, powerful advisor, sending signals about hunger, satiety, and even emotional states. These signals can trigger responses in the brain, affecting how we think, feel, and act. This bidirectional relationship means that stress can cause digestive issues, and digestive issues can cause stress. It's a cycle that highlights how deeply intertwined our physical and mental health really are. Understanding this loop is key to breaking the cycle. By recognizing how our mental state can affect our digestion, and vice versa, we open the door to more holistic health strategies. This clever twist isn't just a scientific curiosity. It's a call to rethink how we approach both our bodies and our minds. The gut-brain connection is a reminder that we're more than just physical or mental beings. Underneath the surface of our daily lives, a silent symphony of signals is at work. The gut is not just a digestive organ, it's a second brain, brimming with neurons and neurotransmitters that communicate with the central nervous system. This system, known as the enteric nervous system, contains over 100 million nerve cells. It's responsible for regulating digestion, but its influence extends far beyond the abdomen, into our mood, our behavior, and even our cognition. Imagine your gut is a city, and your brain is the mayor. Every decision, every feeling, every thought is a message sent back and forth between them. The gut is not just digesting food. It's processing emotions, regulating hormones, and even influencing how we think and feel. This city, this gut, is constantly sending signals, like a nervous system that's been around longer than the brain itself. So next time you feel anxious or stressed, remember, your gut is probably already working on the solution. It's not just a feeling, it's a conversation, and we're only just beginning to understand it. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. You might think your immune system is just about fighting germs, but it's actually shaped by the trillions of microbes living in your gut. These microbes aren't just passengers. They're partners in your body's defense strategy, silently influencing how your immune system responds to threats. The balance of these microbes can make you more or less susceptible to infections, allergies, or even autoimmune diseases. So, the next time you feel a cold coming on, consider that your microbes might be the real heroes of your immune response. In this video, we're going to uncover how these tiny life forms shape the immune system you've never even seen. So, what exactly are we talking about? Well, the human body is home to trillions of microscopic organisms, collectively known as the microbiome. These microbes are not just passive residents. They actively shape our health. The majority of these microbes live in the gut, but they also reside in the skin, mouth, and even the respiratory tract. Each of these communities plays a unique role in keeping us healthy. Our immune system is like a highly trained army, always on alert for threats. But it doesn't work alone. It relies on our microbiome to distinguish between friend and foe. Some microbes even help train the immune system from birth, teaching it to recognize and respond to pathogens without overreacting. In other words, our microbes are not just along for the ride. They are essential partners in maintaining our health and immune balance. Your gut is a battlefield where good and bad microbes fight for your health. Every day, your immune system must decide which microbes to trust and which to attack. The microbes you host shape how your immune system responds to threats. They can train your body to be more tolerant or more aggressive, depending on their presence. An imbalance in your gut microbiome can lead to chronic inflammation, which is linked to everything from autoimmune diseases to mental health issues. Your diet, lifestyle, and even stress can change your microbes, which in turn can change your immune system. You're not just a human, you're a host to a whole ecosystem. Understanding your microbes can help you protect your immune system from unnecessary attacks, and even boost it to fight real threats more effectively. Back in the 19th century, scientists began to realize that microbes weren't just contaminants. They were essential to life. Louis Pasteur's work showed that microbes influence immunity, laying the foundation for understanding our microbial allies. In the 1940s, the discovery of antibiotics revealed how microbes could both harm and help. Researchers started to see the balance between pathogenic and beneficial microbes in our bodies. In the 1990s, advances in sequencing technology allowed researchers to map microbial communities. This opened the door to understanding how microbes influence immunity at the genetic level. Today, we know that microbes from birth shape our immune system, influencing everything from allergies to autoimmune diseases. The science has come a long way, and it's only just beginning. Your body is like a tiny city, and microbes are the workers who help keep everything running. They're like tiny doctors, cleaning up messes and helping your immune system stay strong. When you're born, these microbes start working in your gut, which is like a big kitchen where your body digests food and keeps things safe. If the microbes are happy and healthy, they tell your immune system, "Don't worry, everything's fine." But if they're sad or sick, they'll send a message, "Watch out, something's wrong." So, your microbes are like your body's best friends, helping you stay healthy and safe from the world outside. Our bodies are home to trillions of microbes, each playing a role in shaping our immune system from the moment we're born. These microbes start colonizing our bodies in the first few days of life, setting the stage for immune development. These early interactions between microbes and the immune system are like a conversation, shaping how our body responds to threats. The setup is not just about presence. It's about the balance of microbial communities that guide immune education. This initial setup sets the foundation for lifelong immune function and our ability to distinguish friend from foe. Once the microbes reach the gut, they start interacting with the immune cells that line the intestinal wall. These cells, called M cells, are specially designed to sample the environment and detect potential threats. When M cells encounter beneficial microbes, they send signals to nearby immune cells, like dendritic cells, to tell them that these microbes are not harmful. This helps the immune system distinguish between friend and foe. Some microbes also directly interact with T cells through specific molecules, like bacterial surface proteins. These interactions can train T cells to become more tolerant or more responsive, depending on the context. This communication between microbes and immune cells creates a dynamic, symbiotic relationship. It ensures that the immune system remains balanced, avoiding unnecessary inflammation while staying ready to fight pathogens. Ultimately, these microbial signals shape the immune system's memory and response patterns, helping to protect us from infections and diseases while keeping the body in homeostasis. Now, here's the clever twist. The microbes don't just teach the immune system. They also shape its responses in real time by influencing the way it reads the body's own signals. These signals are like a language that the microbes have learned to speak, using chemical messengers that the immune system is already programmed to understand. This means that the immune system isn't just reacting to pathogens. It's also being trained by the microbes to prioritize which threats to respond to, based on the environment. In essence, the microbes are acting as both teachers and referees, guiding the immune system's behavior to maintain balance and prevent overreactions. This clever interplay ensures that the immune system remains both vigilant and flexible, ready to adapt to new threats while avoiding unnecessary inflammation. Under the skin of our body, trillions of microbes call our gut home. These microbes are not just passengers. They're co-conspirators in shaping our immune system from the moment we're born. In the gut, microbes teach our immune cells to recognize what's friend and what's foe. They do this by interacting with immune receptors, sending chemical signals that guide the immune system's response. When microbes are out of balance, the immune system can overreact, leading to chronic inflammation or autoimmune diseases. The gut microbiome is like a training ground for the immune system. The immune system doesn't just respond to microbes, it's shaped by them. The gut microbiome acts as a silent instructor, teaching the immune system how to stay calm, focused, and ready for real threats. Imagine your gut is a bustling city, and your microbes are the workers who keep everything running smoothly. They're not just along for the ride. They're the ones maintaining the immune system's infrastructure. These microbes communicate with your immune cells like a city's traffic control system, guiding where to send patrols and where to allocate resources. If the microbes are gone, the city falls into chaos. Immune responses become overzealous, causing inflammation and disease, like a city without traffic control turning into a war zone. So, in this analogy, you're not just a passenger, you're the city planner, and your microbes are the workers who ensure your immune system stays balanced and functional. This is a gloriously dumb but accurate way to see how microbes and immunity work together. Like a city, it's complex, but once you get it, it makes perfect sense. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. You've probably heard about the gut-brain connection, but what if your mental health is being shaped by the invisible world inside your intestines? The microbiome, a collection of trillions of microbes, is rewriting our understanding of anxiety and depression. These microbes aren't just digesting food, they're communicating with your nervous system, influencing mood, cognition, and even behavior in ways we're only beginning to comprehend. Scientists are now exploring whether imbalances in this microbial ecosystem could be a hidden cause of mental health disorders, and how we might one day treat them not just with pills, but with a new kind of therapy, one that starts in the gut. This isn't science fiction. It's a rapidly evolving field, and the implications are as profound as they are unsettling. The gut is no longer just the gut. It's a second brain, and it's shaping who we are. So, what happens when we start listening to the microbes that live inside us? The answer may lie in understanding how they influence our mental health, starting with anxiety, depression, and beyond. The human body is more than just skin and bones. It's a vast, complex ecosystem, home to trillions of microbes. These microscopic life forms live in and on us, shaping our biology in ways we are only beginning to understand. The gut, in particular, is a major hub for these microbes. Known as the gut microbiome, it's a dynamic community that influences digestion, immunity, and even our brain chemistry. What's fascinating is that these microbes don't just live in us. They communicate with us. Through chemical signals, they influence our mood, behavior, and even our risk for mental health disorders like anxiety and depression. This bidirectional relationship between the gut and the brain is often referred to as the gut-brain axis. It's a complex dialogue that shapes our mental and physical well-being, and it's more than just a theory. It's a reality we're only beginning to unravel. Understanding the microbiome is not just about the microbes themselves. It's about how they shape our biology, our thoughts, and our sense of self. It's a reminder that we are not just individuals. We are ecosystems. The gut-brain axis isn't just a concept. It's a biological reality, one that connects your mental health to the invisible world inside your body. Every decision you make, every emotion you feel, may be influenced by the bacteria living in your gut. When you feel anxious or depressed, it might not be just your mind reacting. It could be your microbiome sending signals through the vagus nerve, influencing your brain chemistry in ways we're only beginning to understand. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now in your body, and it has real implications for your mental health. The bacteria you eat, the stress you experience, and the habits you develop all shape the microbiome that may, in turn, shape your mood. Understanding the microbiome is like unlocking a secret code that could change how we approach mental health. It's not just about medication or therapy. It's about how you live, what you eat, and how you care for your body. The future of mental health care may lie in nurturing this hidden ecosystem within you. It's not just about treating symptoms. It's about understanding the full complexity of what it means to be human. For thousands of years, humans have lived in symbiosis with microorganisms. Yet, it wasn't until the 29th century that we began to understand their role in mental health. The gut-brain axis was first hinted at in ancient texts describing the link between digestion and mood. In the 19th century, scientists like Rudolf Virchow began to see the connection between the gut and the mind, though they lacked the tools to explore it further. The microscope revealed the vast world of microbes, but their influence on mental states remained a mystery. The 1950s brought a breakthrough with the discovery of serotonin, a neurotransmitter found in both the gut and the brain. This revelation sparked the idea that gut health might influence mental well-being, though the science was still in its infancy. In the 1980s, the term microbiome was coined, marking the start of a new era in understanding the human body. Researchers began to realize that these microbes were not just passengers, but active participants in shaping our mental and physical health. Today, we're standing at the edge of a new frontier, where the microbiome is no longer just a subject of study, but a vital component of mental health research. The path from gut to brain is clear, but the journey is far from over. Imagine your body is a city, and your gut is the library. Every tiny bug in there helps you think, feel, and even remember things. They're not just there, they're part of you. When those bugs get out of balance, it's like the library is missing some books. You might feel sad, worried, or even forget things. It's not just your brain, it's your whole body talking. Doctors are learning that your gut can send messages to your brain. It's like a secret phone call between your tummy and your thoughts. Scientists are trying to understand how. This is a big idea. It's not just about food or stress. It's about how your whole body, from the inside out, helps you be happy or sad. And it's changing how we think about mental health. The microbiome begins with the gut, a complex ecosystem of trillions of microbes, each playing a role in digestion and immunity. This is not just a system for breaking down food, but a communication hub that links the body to the mind. These microbes produce neurotransmitters, including serotonin and GABA, which are crucial for regulating mood and anxiety. They also interact with the nervous system through the vagus nerve, forming an ancient bidirectional communication pathway. The gut's microbiome can be shaped by diet, stress, and even sleep. A diverse and balanced microbial community supports mental resilience, while imbalances like dysbiosis may contribute to conditions such as anxiety and depression. Understanding this setup is the first step in grasping how the microbiome can influence mental health. It's the foundation of biological communication that we are only beginning to unravel with scientific precision. Once the gut microbiota produces these metabolites, they enter the bloodstream and travel to the brain through the vagus nerve, a key pathway in the gut-brain axis. These molecules can modulate neurotransmitter levels, influencing serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, chemicals that directly affect mood and emotional regulation. The brain also responds by sending signals back to the gut, creating a bidirectional communication system that continuously adjusts mental and physical states. This constant dialogue between the gut and brain means that imbalances in the microbiome can ripple outward, contributing to anxiety, depression, and other mental health conditions. Understanding this mechanism is the first step in recognizing how the microbiome can be a target for therapeutic interventions in mental health. The clever twist lies in the bidirectional communication between the gut and the brain, known as the gut-brain axis. This isn't just a one-way signal. It's a dynamic dialogue shaped by the microbiome's activity. Microbial metabolites like short-chain fatty acids and neurotransmitter precursors cross the blood-brain barrier, influencing brain chemistry and function. These are the messengers that shape our mental state. Meanwhile, stress and emotional states can alter the microbiome itself, creating a feedback loop where mental health and gut health influence each other in a complex, intertwined way. This bidirectional exchange means that changes in the gut can affect the brain and vice versa. It's not just about what we eat, but how our mental state shapes the very ecosystem within us. Understanding this clever twist is crucial, because it reveals the microbiome not just as a passive player, but as an active participant in the story of mental health. Underneath the surface of our understanding, the microbiome operates like an unseen orchestra. Its symphony of bacteria, fungi, and viruses shaping not just our digestion, but our very mood and cognition. Studies reveal that gut bacteria can influence the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and GABA, the very chemicals that regulate our emotional state and stress response. Some bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids, which have been shown to reduce inflammation and may even act as a buffer against the stress-induced changes in the brain. Yet, the science is still evolving. Each new study adds another layer to this intricate web, revealing how our inner world of microbes is not just part of us, but an essential part of who we are. So, the next time you feel anxious or low, consider that your gut may be whispering something you've never heard before. Because the microbiome is not just in your gut, it's in your mind. Imagine the brain as a bustling city, where every thought and feeling is a citizen with its own purpose and rhythm. But in the city, there are also invisible workers, the gut microbes, who maintain the infrastructure, regulate traffic, and even influence the mood of the entire population. These workers aren't just maintaining the roads. They're producing neurotransmitters, managing stress responses, and even shaping the city's emotional climate. Without them, the city would be in chaos. Or worse, completely silent. Now, picture a city that has grown too noisy, too polluted, and too overwhelmed. The workers are overworked, and the citizens are struggling to cope. This is the brain in distress, where the microbiome is not just a bystander, but a vital part of the solution. In this analogy, the microbiome is not just a support system. It's the city's immune system, its power grid, and its emotional regulator all at once. And just like a city, the brain needs balance, harmony, and a clean environment to function at its best. So, when we talk about the microbiome and mental health, we're not just talking about bacteria. We're talking about the unseen forces that shape our minds, our emotions, and our very way of being in the world. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. You know that tiny world inside your gut? It's not just a bunch of microbes. It's a whole ecosystem, and your diet is its architect. Every time you eat, you're not just feeding yourself. You're shaping the invisible army that helps you digest, defend, and even think. This isn't just science. It's a daily conversation between you and the trillions of microbes that call your body home. So what you choose to eat isn't just about calories. It's about building the right kind of microbial community for your health. And that's why understanding how diet shapes your microbial ecosystem is one of the most fascinating and powerful things you can learn about yourself. So what exactly are we talking about? Well, we're diving into the microscopic world that lives inside you. Trillions of tiny organisms working together, invisible to the naked eye. These microbes aren't just passive passengers. They're active participants in your body's daily functions, influencing digestion, immunity, and even your mood. When we eat a diet rich in fiber, fermented foods, and diverse plant-based ingredients, we're essentially giving our microbes a feast and encouraging their diversity. But when our diet lacks variety or includes too much processed food, we're essentially starving our microbes, leading to an imbalance that can affect our health. So, in this section, we're setting the stage to understand exactly what kind of ecosystem we're dealing with, and how our food choices can shape it. You're not just eating food. You're feeding an entire universe of microbes inside you. Every bite you take is a decision that shapes the invisible world that calls your body home. These microbes aren't just passively living. They're actively influencing your digestion, your immunity, even your mood. You're not just eating for yourself, you're eating for them too. Your gut is like a jungle, and your diet is the weather. A healthy diet keeps the ecosystem balanced, while poor choices can lead to a chaotic, unstable environment. So, when you think about your next meal, remember, you're not just fueling your body, you're shaping the invisible universe that supports it. That's something worth caring about. Let's rewind to the dawn of humanity, where our ancestors were hunter-gatherers, eating a rich mix of plants, animals, and fermented foods. This diet was diverse, complex, and packed with fiber, which nurtured a thriving gut microbiome. As agriculture emerged around 10,000 years ago, humans began cultivating grains and domesticating animals. This shift introduced more starches and less fiber, slowly altering the microbial balance in our guts. In the last century, the rise of fast food and ultra-processed diets has further accelerated this shift. We now consume more sugar, fat, and additives than ever before, at the expense of our microbial diversity. This historical trajectory shows how our diets have shaped the evolution of our microbial ecosystems. Every shift in what we eat has left a lasting imprint on the balance of life inside us. Imagine your body is a jungle, and the microbes are the tiny animals living there. They help you digest food and keep you healthy. When you eat fruits and veggies, you're giving them a snack. They love it and work harder to help you feel good. Your diet is like a recipe for your microbes. What you eat changes what kind of microbes live inside you. So eating good food is like giving your microbes a party. They get excited and help you feel awesome inside. So where does it all begin? It starts with the food we eat. Every bite we take is a decision that shapes the microbial world inside us. When we chew, we're not just breaking down food. We're also creating the perfect environment for microbes to thrive. This is the setup for the microbial ecosystem inside our gut. These microbes begin their work immediately, breaking down food into nutrients and creating byproducts that influence our digestion and health. The setup is simple but powerful. A single meal can tip the balance of our gut microbiome, setting the stage for what happens next. Understanding this setup is the first step in seeing how diet shapes the invisible world that shapes us. Once food enters the mouth, it's broken down by saliva and teeth. This initial digestion begins to release nutrients and compounds that will fuel the microbes in our gut. As we swallow, the food travels down the esophagus and enters the stomach, where it's exposed to acids and enzymes that further break it down. Once the food reaches the small intestine, it's met with a complex mix of enzymes and bile. This is where most of the digestion happens, and where nutrients are absorbed. The remaining undigested material moves into the large intestine, where the real magic happens. Here, the microbes ferment fiber and other compounds to produce short-chain fatty acids and gases. These byproducts, like butyrate and propionate, are not just waste. They're vital signals to the body, influencing immunity, metabolism, and even brain function. Once the microbes start digesting, they begin to communicate with each other. They release chemical signals that tell others what's working and what's not. This is how the microbial community becomes smarter and more efficient. These signals help coordinate the group, so they don't all try to break down the same food at once. Instead, some microbes specialize in breaking down fiber, while others focus on extracting nutrients. This communication is like a language of the gut, shaping which microbes thrive and which fade away. It's a dynamic, ever-changing conversation that keeps the ecosystem in balance. The clever twist is that these microbes aren't just surviving, they're evolving in real time, adapting to what we eat and how we live. They become an extension of our own biology. So the next time you eat, remember you're not just fueling yourself, you're feeding a whole universe of tiny life, and they're learning from you all the time. Beneath every bite we take, a silent orchestra of microbes plays, each one responding to the sugars, fibers, and proteins we introduce into their world. When we eat fiber-rich foods like vegetables or whole grains, we're essentially feeding the good bacteria that help digest them and support our health. In contrast, processed foods high in sugar and fat often starve the beneficial microbes while fueling harmful ones, throwing the ecosystem into imbalance. This shift isn't just about what we eat. It's about the chemistry of our gut, where every nutrient triggers a cascade of microbial reactions. Understanding this science helps us see how our choices aren't just about calories, but about the invisible world shaping our health from within. So imagine your gut as a tiny, bustling city, and your diet is the food that feeds its inhabitants. Every bite you take is like a delivery truck bringing new supplies to the microbes living there. If you eat a lot of sugar, you're essentially feeding a gang of microbes that thrive on sweetness. They grow rapidly, take over the streets, and crowd out the other microbes that prefer more balanced meals. These microbes aren't just passengers in your gut. They're workers, builders, and even protectors. They help digest your food, make vitamins, and even influence your mood and immune system. So when you choose your food, you're not just filling your stomach. You're shaping the invisible world inside you, one bite at a time. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. The human body is not just flesh and bone, but a vast, unseen universe teeming with life. Trillions of microbes call our bodies home. And they're not just passengers. They're architects of health and disease. These microbes work in tandem with our cells, shaping our immune system, digestion, and even our mood. Yet, when this delicate balance is disrupted, the consequences can be profound. What begins as a simple infection can spiral into chronic illness, and the microbiome is often the silent player in this drama. Understanding it is the first step to understanding ourselves. This is the story of the microbiome and disease, not just how it causes illness, but how it shapes our health in ways we are only beginning to understand. In this video, we'll explore how the microbiome influences everything from infections to chronic conditions, and what we can do to restore balance. The microbiome is not just a collection of microbes. It's a dynamic, complex ecosystem. Every inch of our body, from skin to gut, hosts billions of microorganisms that interact with our cells in ways we're only beginning to understand. These microbes are not all just bacteria. They include fungi, viruses, and archaea, each playing a unique role in maintaining our internal balance. This ecosystem is so intricate that it can influence everything from our immune system to our mental health, acting as both protector and potential culprit in disease. When this delicate balance is disrupted, it can lead to a cascade of health problems, ranging from infections to chronic diseases that are still poorly understood. Understanding the microbiome is not just about seeing microbes. It's about understanding how they shape our health and how they can be harnessed to prevent or treat disease. Your microbiome is more than just a collection of bacteria. It's a silent partner in your health, influencing everything from your immune system to your mood. What you eat, how you sleep, and even your stress levels can reshape it without you realizing it. When your microbiome is out of balance, it can lead to inflammation, weakened immunity, and even contribute to diseases like IBS or depression. These aren't just random occurrences. They're signals from your body's own ecosystem. Understanding your microbiome isn't just about science. It's about empowerment. Knowing how your internal world affects your health can guide your choices, from diet to lifestyle, helping you take control of your future. You might not see it, but your microbiome is constantly working, sometimes in harmony, sometimes in conflict. By paying attention to it, you're not just looking after your body, you're investing in your long-term well-being. In the 19th century, scientists began to understand that microbes could cause disease. Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch pioneered the germ theory, linking specific microbes to specific infections. Their work laid the foundation for modern medicine and the idea that microbes are not always our allies. As the 20th century unfolded, antibiotics became a miracle cure for bacterial infections. But with their widespread use came resistance, and the realization that our bodies host vast microbial communities that could influence health in ways we were only beginning to understand. The human microbiome was first systematically studied in the 1970s, when scientists began to recognize that the gut contained more microbes than human cells. This revelation shifted our view from microbes as enemies to partners in health and disease. In the 21st century, advances in sequencing technology allowed scientists to map the human microbiome in unprecedented detail. We now know that these microbes influence everything from digestion to the immune system, and that their disruption can lead to a range of diseases. Today, researchers are exploring how the microbiome interacts with chronic diseases like obesity, diabetes, and even mental health conditions. The field is expanding rapidly, with the potential to revolutionize medicine through personalized microbial therapies. Imagine your body is a city, and your gut is the subway system. Every day, trillions of tiny workers called microbes ride the trains, cleaning up, fixing things, and keeping the city running. But sometimes the microbes get sick or new ones come in that don't work well. When that happens, the subway gets messy and the whole city starts to feel off. But the best part is, if you clean the subway and make sure the microbes work together, the city can get better. That's how your body heals itself when you take care of your gut. So, your body is like a city, and the microbiome is the subway. If you take care of the subway, you take care of the whole city, and that's how you stay healthy. The microbiome begins with the human body itself. Every surface, every organ, every cell is a potential habitat for microorganisms, some of which have been with us since birth. During birth, the infant's microbiome is seeded by the mother, through the birth canal, skin contact, and even breast milk. This initial colonization sets the stage for lifelong microbial relationships. The first few years of life are critical. The microbiome develops rapidly, influenced by diet, environment, and the immune system. This is when the balance between microbes and the host is first established. This early setup is not just about presence. It's about interaction. Microbes begin to communicate with the immune system, shaping its responses and laying the foundation for future health. The microbiome is the first line of defense against pathogens. It creates a niche where harmful microbes can't thrive, and it trains the immune system to distinguish friend from foe. Once the pathogen breaches the mucosal barrier, it begins to colonize the gut lining, using specific adhesion molecules to attach itself to the epithelial cells. This attachment allows the pathogen to evade the host's immune surveillance, while also beginning to alter the local microbial environment through the release of toxins and metabolic byproducts. This dysbiosis can trigger a cascade of inflammatory responses, as immune cells detect changes in microbial composition and respond with cytokine signaling. Over time, chronic inflammation can damage the intestinal lining, creating a leaky gut that allows toxins and pathogens to enter the bloodstream, fueling systematic disease. This systemic spread of infection and inflammation is the key step that links the initial microbial insult to long-term chronic illness and immune dysfunction. The clever twist begins when the microbiome doesn't just respond to disease, it actively shapes it. The gut microbiota can influence immune responses in ways that either protect or predispose the body to chronic illness. Certain bacteria can train the immune system to become more tolerant, reducing inflammation. Others, however, can provoke excessive immune reactions, leading to persistent inflammation and tissue damage. This interplay is not random. It's guided by complex signals that the microbiome sends to the body. These signals can either promote healing or sustain a state of chronic inflammation, depending on the microbial makeup. In essence, the microbiome can act as both a healer and a harbinger of disease. Its influence is subtle but profound, and it often depends on the balance of microbial species and their interactions with the host biology. This clever twist underscores the microbiome's role not just as a passive inhabitant, but as an active participant in health and disease. Understanding this dynamic is key to unlocking new strategies for treatment and prevention. At the core of this connection lies a delicate balance between the microbes that live within us and the immune system that defends us. These tiny organisms are not just passengers. They are active participants in shaping our health. When this balance is disrupted, it can trigger a cascade of events that lead to inflammation, tissue damage, and ultimately disease. The microbiome becomes both an ally and a potential adversary in this complex ecosystem. Research is now revealing that some chronic illnesses, like inflammatory bowel disease or even depression, may stem from dysbiosis. a state of microbial imbalance that goes unnoticed by the body, but is felt deeply. The science is clear. The microbiome is not just a part of us, it is us. Understanding this connection is the first step toward treating disease not just as a symptom, but as a disruption in the harmony of life within us. And as we unravel these complexities, we're not just looking for cures. We're trying to restore the balance that makes life itself possible. Imagine your body is a bustling city, and the microbiome is the city's infrastructure. The roads, the power grid, the water system, every part of your body depends on it to function properly. When that infrastructure is healthy, it supports life, digestion, immunity, even mood. But when it's disrupted, like a city with a broken power grid, chaos follows. The immune system is like the city's security forces, trained to detect and neutralize threats. But when the microbiome is out of balance, the security forces get confused, overreact, and cause damage. In the end, the microbiome is not just a collection of microbes. It's the foundation of your health, and its disruption can lead to disease, just like a city without infrastructure can't survive. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. You're about to meet the first microbes of your life. Tiny, ancient, and utterly essential. They're not just hitchhiking on your skin. They're the start of a lifelong dance with the invisible world. Imagine being born into a world of microbes. Some friendly, some not. The moment you take your first breath, the air becomes a highway for these microscopic travelers, some of which will become your lifelong companions. Breast milk isn't just food. It's a carefully crafted ecosystem, packed with billions of microbes that will help shape the baby's gut and immune system. It's like a microbiome in a bottle. Every bite, every breath, every touch begins a story of microbes. And your body is their new home. This is the beginning of the microbiome, the invisible world that will shape your health for a lifetime. So what exactly are we talking about? We're talking about the microscopic world that starts shaping our bodies the moment we're born. It's not just about bacteria. It's about the entire ecosystem of microbes that will live inside and on us for a lifetime. These microbes are not invaders. They're our first friends, helping us digest food, train our immune system, and even influence our mood. Every breath, every touch, every drop of amniotic fluid sets the stage for this tiny universe inside us. The journey starts in the birth canal, where the baby is first exposed to a rich mix of microbes. These are the first microbes to meet them, and they'll become the foundation of their gut microbiome. Then, if the baby is breastfed, they're met with an even more specialized and beneficial mix of microbes, delivered to breast milk. This is the start of a lifelong partnership between the baby and their microbiome. So, the microbiome isn't just something that happens later in life. It's a foundational ecosystem, built in the first days, and it shapes everything from our health to our happiness. You might not think about your microbes until you're sick, but your microbiome starts shaping your health the moment you're born. These microbes are more than just bugs. They're your first allies in the fight against disease. The microbes you meet in the first days of life can influence your immune system, digestion, and even your mood. They're the architects of your body's internal ecosystem. The choices made in the first few years, like whether to breastfeed or not, can set the stage for your long-term health. These early microbes help your body learn how to survive. Your microbiome isn't just about what you eat. It's about the entire environment your body is exposed to. The microbes you meet early on become part of your body's identity. So, yes, you should care. These microbes are your body's first line of defense, and they're here to stay. Understanding them can help you make better choices for your health, now and in the future. Let's jump back to the Stone Age, where humans gave birth in caves surrounded by firelight and the hum of primal life. The first microbes were already waiting in the soil, air, and even the bodies of the mother and her ancestors. Before modern hospitals, birth was a communal event. The baby met microbes from the mother's skin, her breath, and even the earth beneath her feet. a microbial welcome party that started the journey of the human microbiome. By the time we hit the Neolithic era, humans had settled in villages, farming and raising animals. The microbiome evolved alongside these new environments, shaped by diet, hygiene, and close contact with domesticated life. The Industrial Revolution brought sanitation, cities, and a shift in microbial exposure. While some diseases declined, others emerged. Our microbiomes adapted, and so did our understanding of their importance. Today, scientists use high-tech tools to look back at these ancient microbial journeys. We can now trace the microbiome's evolution through time, from the caves of our ancestors to the lab-grown microbes in our gut today. So, the microbiome didn't just appear in the womb. It's a story written across millennia, shaped by the world around us, the bodies we inherited, and the lives we've lived. Before the first breath, the world of microbes is already waiting. A baby's body, though tiny, is a blank canvas for life to begin. The environment around the mother and the way she carries her baby sets the stage for this first microbial encounter. The birth canal is a microbial highway, filled with bacteria that have lived in the mother's body for years. These microbes are not just passing through, they're starting a journey that will shape the baby's first microbial home. The moment the baby is born, the microbes in the birth canal begin their first touch. These microbes latch onto the baby's skin, their tiny bodies moving like explorers on a new planet. This initial contact is the first step in building the baby's microbiome. These microbes are not just passengers, they're the foundation of a lifelong relationship, shaping the baby's health and development from the very start. The setup is complete. The baby's body is now a microbial haven, and the first microbes have arrived, ready to begin their work. This is the beginning of a microbial ecosystem that will grow and evolve with the baby. Once the baby is born, the first microbes they encounter come from the birth canal. These microbes are ancient, diverse, and perfectly suited to the baby's new environment. In vaginal births, the baby is exposed to billions of microbes as they pass through the birth canal. These microbes include lactobacillus, which helps establish a healthy balance early on. Breast milk is not just food. It's a rich source of microbes, prebiotics, and immune-boosting compounds. It helps the baby's microbiome grow and mature in the first months of life. The microbes in breast milk include bifidobacteria, which are crucial for digesting milk sugars and supporting the baby's gut health. These microbes start to colonize the baby's intestines almost immediately. The first few months are a critical window for the microbiome to establish itself. Every interaction, breastfeeding, skin-to-skin contact, and even the air the baby breathes, helps shape the microbiome's foundation. Now, here's the clever twist. The baby's gut isn't just a passive space. It's an active battlefield where microbes compete for dominance. Some microbes are better at sticking to the gut lining, while others are more aggressive, using toxins or acids to outcompete others. This competition isn't just about survival. It's about shaping the baby's immune system and metabolism for life. So, the first microbes that colonize the gut don't just settle in, they take control, setting the stage for the baby's long-term health. The microbiome doesn't just start at birth. It begins in the environment, shaped by the microbes we're exposed to before we're even born. In the first hours of life, the baby's body is already encountering microbes from the birth canal, the skin, and the air around us. Breast milk isn't just nutrition. It's a carefully crafted cocktail of microbes, antibodies, and bioactive compounds that help colonize the baby's gut. The first microbes that colonize the gut are critical. They set the tone for immune responses, metabolism, and even brain development. This early microbial colonization is like a symphony, each microbe playing a role in a complex, interconnected system that supports the body's balance. Imagine your baby's gut is like a brand new city, just waiting to be built. The first microbes are like the first settlers, arriving with the first milk or first breath. These microbes are not just random. They're specially selected, like the first workers in a construction project, each with a unique job to do. The city's layout is shaped by the first settlers, the microbes, and their choices determine the kind of city that will grow. Just like a city needs good planning, a baby's microbiome needs the right start. A mix of microbes, environment, and care to thrive. So next time you think about your baby's first microbes, imagine them as the builders of the city. Not perfect, but perfectly designed for life. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. Did you know that the microbes inside your gut can shape your health as you age? These tiny organisms, numbering in the trillions, are more than just passengers. They're your body's silent partners in digestion, immunity, and even mood. As we grow older, these microbes shift. Some fade away, others multiply, and new ones take their place. This transformation is subtle, but its effects can be profound, influencing everything from digestion to cognitive function. The question is, why does this happen? And more importantly, can we influence this change to support healthier aging? The answers lie deep within the science of the microbiome, and it's more fascinating than you might think. So, what if I told you that the key to a longer, healthier life might not be in a pill, but in the trillions of microbes living inside you? Let's dive into how the microbiome changes as we age, and why it matters. So, what exactly are we talking about? The microbiome is the community of microbes, bacteria, fungi, viruses that live in and on our body. They're not just passengers, they're active participants in our biology. The gut microbiome is the most densely populated, but microbes also reside in the skin, mouth, and even the lungs. Together, they make up a complex ecosystem, each with its own unique role. As we age, this ecosystem changes. Some microbes decline, while others become more dominant. These shifts can influence digestions, immunity, and even brain function. Understanding these changes isn't just about biology. It's about how we can support a healthy microbiome through diet, lifestyle, and even targeted interventions. So when we talk about the microbiome and aging, we're really talking about the invisible, dynamic network that supports our health, and how it evolves as we grow older. Your microbiome isn't just a collection of bacteria. It's a complex ecosystem that supports your body's functions. As you age, this ecosystem changes, and those changes can impact your health in ways you might not even realize. Aging brings shifts in the balance of your microbiome, which can influence digestion, immunity, and even mood. These subtle changes are often overlooked, but they have real, measurable effects on how your body ages. Your microbiome plays a role in how your body processes nutrients and manages stress. As it evolves with age, it can affect your energy levels, cognitive function, and overall quality of life. Understanding your microbiome can help you make choices that support healthier aging. Small changes in diet, lifestyle, and even social interaction can have a big impact on the microbial communities that shape your health. In the womb, the microbiome is almost sterile. But as the baby passes through the birth canal, it's seeded with its first microbes. These early colonizers set the stage for lifelong health. During the first few years, the microbiome rapidly diversifies, influenced by diet, environment, and exposure to other people. This is when the foundation of the microbiome is laid. In old age, the microbiome becomes more imbalanced, with increased inflammation and reduced resilience. This is when the connection between microbiome health and aging becomes most apparent. Throughout life, the microbiome evolves in response to our choices, environment, and biology. Understanding this journey helps us better grasp how it influences aging. Imagine your body is a jungle, and your gut is the forest floor. Every day, tiny creatures, bacteria, fungi, and viruses live there, helping you digest food and stay healthy. As you grow older, some of these tiny friends change, and others leave. It's like the forest floor starts to look a bit different, with fewer of some plants and more of others. This change isn't bad. It's just part of growing up. But it's important to take care of your gut, like watering your garden so it stays healthy and strong. Even though the jungle changes, it's still full of life. And with the right care, it can keep growing and helping you feel your best, no matter your age. The microbiome starts as a delicate, dynamic ecosystem right after birth. Every baby is born with a sterile gut, but the first microbes come from the mother's birth canal, skin, and breast milk. These initial colonizers set the stage for lifelong microbial development. As the baby grows, exposure to the environment introduces more microbes. From crawling on floors to eating food, the microbiome diversifies rapidly. This is when the gut begins to shape the immune system and brain development. As we age, the microbiome begins to shift. Changes in diet, lifestyle, and environment can cause a decline in microbial diversity. This shift is linked to chronic inflammation and a higher risk of age-related diseases. The early years set the foundation for the microbiome's future. What happens in the first few years of life can have lasting effects, making this setup phase critical for long-term health and aging. As we age, our gut microbiome undergoes a shift in its microbial composition, with a gradual loss of beneficial bacteria and an increase in opportunistic pathogens. This change is not random, but is driven by a complex interplay of genetic, environmental, and dietary factors. This microbial imbalance leads to increased gut permeability, often referred to as leaky gut. When the gut lining becomes more permeable, harmful substances can enter the bloodstream, triggering chronic inflammation and immune responses. Chronic inflammation from leaky gut is strongly linked to age-related diseases such as arthritis, dementia, and cardiovascular issues. The immune system, once efficient, becomes overstimulated and less able to distinguish between harmful and harmless signals. The aging microbiome also affects the production of short-chain fatty acids, which are crucial for gut health and brain function. A decline in these compounds can lead to cognitive decline and metabolic dysfunction. Ultimately, the aging microbiome creates a feedback loop that reinforces systemic inflammation and weakens overall health. Understanding these mechanisms is key to developing interventions that support microbiome resilience as we age. The clever twist comes when the gut microbiome starts to outsmart the body's own defenses. As we age, some microbes become more dominant, but they don't just grow. They also alter the environment in ways that help them thrive. This microbial strategy involves producing substances that influence the host's metabolism, immune response, and even gene expression. It's not just about survival. It's about shaping the host to better support their own survival. This microbial manipulation can lead to a feedback loop, where the body's response to the microbes further shapes the microbial community. It's a dynamic, co-evolutionary relationship that evolves with age. In this phase, the microbiome isn't just reacting to the body. It's becoming a key player in aging, subtly guiding biological processes that shape health and disease over time. At the core of this transformation is the microbiome's response to chronological time, a gradual shift in microbial abundance and diversity that mirrors the body's own aging processes. As we age, the gut microbiome becomes less diverse, with a steady decline in beneficial bacteria like bifidobacterium and a rise in opportunistic pathogens. The gut microbiome's decline is often accompanied by a rise in inflammation, which can contribute to systemic age-related diseases like diabetes and neurodegeneration. Yet, the microbiome's evolution is not entirely a story of decline. Some microbes adapt, and in some individuals, the microbiome shows remarkable resilience to age. This complexity means that the microbiome's role in aging is not just a passive bystander. It's an active player, shaping and being shaped by the aging body. Imagine your gut as a bustling city and the microbiome as its residents. Some friendly, some not. Over time, the city changes, with new buildings rising and old ones falling. The microbiome mirrors this, evolving with age. In youth, the city is vibrant and balanced, with a diverse mix of residents working together. But as time passes, the population shifts. Some leave, others arrive, and the overall atmosphere changes subtly. The city analogy isn't perfect. but it captures how the microbiome evolves over time. It's not just about gaining or losing microbes. It's about the balance, the interactions, and the subtle shifts in the ecosystem. So next time you hear about the microbiome, think of it like a city, complex, dynamic, and ever-changing. Just like cities, it can be shaped by the choices we make, and its health can affect how we age. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. Did you know the dirt under your fingernails is older than the Great Pyramid of Giza? It's packed with life we've barely begun to understand. That soil isn't just dirt. It's a bustling city of microbes, each one playing a role in the grand story of life on Earth. But here's the kicker. Your body is just as full of these microbes as the soil beneath your feet. So the next time you step outside, remember, you're not just walking on the earth, you're walking with it. And the real question is, what happens when we start messing with the planet and ourselves in the wrong way? So what exactly are we talking about? The microbiome isn't just a bunch of microbes in your gut. It's the entire collection of microbes living in and on your body, working together in a delicate balance. These microbes are like a tiny, invisible ecosystem, supporting your digestion, immunity, and even your mood. But it's not just inside you. It's all around us, in the soil, water, and air we breathe. When we change the environment, by polluting, deforestation, or climate change, we're also changing the microbes that live there. And those changes can ripple back to affect us in ways we're only beginning to understand. Understanding this connection means we're not just looking at the planet as a resource, but as a partner in our health and survival. It's a reminder that we're all part of one big, interconnected system. You're not just a human on this planet. You're part of the web of life. Every time you breathe, you're participating in a conversation that's been going on for billions of years. Your body is a home to trillions of microbes, and those microbes are connected to the soil, the water, and the air. They're all part of the same living system. The microbes in your gut help digest food and support your immune system, but they depend on clean water and healthy soil to thrive. It's a cycle we're all part of. By taking care of the environment, you're indirectly taking care of your own microbiome. It's a connection you might not even realize, but it's real and powerful. So when you think about the world you live in, remember, your well-being isn't just personal. It's part of something bigger, something we all share. Imagine 3.8 billion years ago. The Earth was a primordial soup. Microbes were the first life forms, shaping the planet's chemistry and setting the stage for everything that followed. As the planet cooled, these microbes formed the basis of ecosystems, influencing the atmosphere and laying the foundation for complex life to evolve. The Great Extinction events reshaped the microbiome, wiping out some species while allowing others to adapt and thrive, ensuring the continuity of life. In the last few centuries, human activity has dramatically altered the planet's microbiome, with both positive and negative impacts on ecosystems and human health. Today, we're not just observers of the microbiome. We're part of it, and our actions continue to shape the planet's microbial future. Imagine your body is a jungle, and the microbiome is all the tiny animals living there. They help you stay healthy and strong. These tiny friends are like tiny helpers, working day and night to keep you safe and happy inside. If the forest is unhealthy, the microbes get sick too, and that can make you feel unwell. So, taking care of the earth is like taking care of your tiny friends inside you. They're all connected. So, to understand how the microbiome and the environment are connected, we first need to imagine the planet as a living, breathing system. Every inch of soil, every drop of water, and every breath of air is filled with microscopic life, working together in ways we're only beginning to uncover. The soil beneath our feet is not just dirt. It's a complex network of microbes, fungi, and tiny creatures that break down organic matter, recycle nutrients, and support plant life. It's the foundation of life on Earth. Even the air we breathe is teeming with microbes, some friendly, some not. These tiny organisms travel vast distances, carried by wind and water, shaping the environment and, in turn, being shaped by it. The microbiome of the planet isn't just about what's living in it. It's about the interactions, the balance, and the ways these tiny organisms influence everything from climate to food chains. Understanding this connection starts with seeing the planet not as a collection of separate parts, but as a single, interconnected system where every microbe plays a role in the grand design of life. Once the microbes are in the soil, they start breaking down the organic matter around them. This is where the real magic begins, and it's all about chemical reactions that release nutrients back into the soil. These microbes use the energy from sunlight or chemicals to power their work, and they create new molecules that help feed the plants and support the ecosystem. This cycle of breaking down and releasing is not random. It's part of a larger network of interactions that connects the soil, the plants, and even the atmosphere. Every time a microbe breaks down something, it's not just recycling nutrients. It's also creating a ripple effect that supports life above and below the ground. So, the microbes are not just workers. They're architects of the Earth's life support system. Their work under the surface is as important as the trees and animals we see above. So here's the clever twist. The microbiome isn't just about microbes in our gut. It's a vast, interconnected web that spans the entire planet. Every soil particle, every drop of water, and every leaf is a home for microbes working in perfect harmony. These microbes don't just survive in their environment, they shape it. They break down pollutants, fix nitrogen, and even help control the climate by influencing the carbon cycle. This means our health is tied to the health of the planet. When we protect the environment, we're also protecting the invisible networks that sustain life, and us. So, the next time you step outside, remember, you're not just interacting with the world, you're part of an ancient, living system that's been fine-tuning itself for millions of years. When we look at the soil, we're not just seeing dirt. We're seeing the bustling city of microbes, each one playing a role in keeping the planet alive. They break down organic matter, recycle nutrients, and help plants grow. These microbes are like the unsung heroes of the earth. They work in harmony with plants, fungi, and even animals, forming complex networks that sustain entire ecosystems. But here's the twist. Our own bodies are full of these same microbes. We're not just humans living on Earth. We're part of the planet's microbial web, breathing, eating, and growing with it. So when we take care of the environment, we're not just protecting nature. We're nurturing the invisible communities that make life possible for us and all living things. Imagine your body is a tiny planet, and your gut is a lush rainforest teeming with life. Every tiny creature there is a unique species, working together to keep the ecosystem running smoothly. Now picture the Earth as a vast ocean, and the microbiome as a bustling underwater city. Each microbe is a citizen, playing a role in keeping the entire system balanced and thriving. Just like a single tree can affect the whole forest, a single microbe can influence the entire microbiome. And just like the forest affects the climate, the microbiome affects our health. So, in the end, we're not just connected to each other. We're part of a grander, more intricate web of life, where every tiny organism plays a role in keeping the planet and ourselves alive. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. Imagine a world where your body isn't just a machine, but a thriving ecosystem, where trillions of tiny organisms call your gut home, shaping your health, your mood, even your genes. These microbes are not just passengers. They're collaborators, influencing everything from digestion to immunity, and maybe even your brain. Breakthroughs are coming fast, like CRISPR for microbes, or synthetic bacteria that could treat diseases before they start. But with such power comes questions. Who gets to control these microbes? And what happens if we mess with nature's balance? This is the future of microbiome research, a field where science, ethics, and the human body collide in ways we are only beginning to imagine. So what exactly are we talking about? Well, the microbiome is the entire community of microbes. bacteria, viruses, fungi that live in and on our bodies. These tiny organisms are not just passive hitchhikers, they're active participants in our biology. The gut microbiome, for example, is a bustling metropolis of trillions of microbes, each playing a role in digestions, immunity, and even brain function. It's like an entire ecosystem inside us, constantly interacting with our genes and environment. Understanding the microbiome means understanding how these microbes influence our health and disease. Recent studies suggest that imbalances in these communities can contribute to conditions ranging from obesity to autoimmune disorders. And it's not just about health. The microbiome is also a key player in the development of our immune system. In fact, some research suggests that the microbes we're exposed to early in life can shape how our immune system responds to threats throughout our lives. So the microbiome is more than just a collection of microbes. It's a complex, dynamic system that's deeply intertwined with every aspect of our biology. And as we unlock its secrets, we're opening the door to a new era of personalized medicine and human health. You might not think about your gut bacteria every day, but they're quietly shaping your mood, your digestion, and even your risk for diseases you've never heard of. These microbes are your body's secret co-pilots, and understanding them could mean rewriting your health future. Imagine a future where your doctor doesn't just check your blood pressure or cholesterol, but also runs a microbiome scan, a digital fingerprint of your internal ecosystem. This could predict everything from diabetes to mental health before symptoms even show. But here's the twist. Your microbiome isn't just a passive part of you. It's evolving in response to your lifestyle, your diet, and even your stress. It's a living, dynamic system, and it's more personal than your DNA ever was. This means your health isn't just about genetics or environment. It's about the invisible conversation happening inside you. And if we can decode that conversations, we might finally understand why some people thrive while others struggle with the same conditions. So even if you don't see it, your microbiome is shaping your life in ways you can't yet imagine. And the future of medicine isn't just about curing diseases, it's about unlocking the secrets of the tiny world inside you. Back in the 1970s, scientists began to realize that microbes weren't just the invisible bugs in our gut. They were an entire universe of life, largely unseen and misunderstood. The first major breakthrough came when scientists like Martin Blaser used culturing techniques to isolate and study these microbes, revealing their diversity and complexity. But culturing only showed part of the story. Most microbes couldn't be grown in labs, so researchers started turning to new tools, like DNA sequencing, to peek inside the human body. In the early 2000s, the Human Microbiome project was launched, a massive, collaborative effort to map all the microbes living in and on the human body. Today, we're not just mapping the microbiome. We're trying to understand how it shapes our health, our behavior, even our evolution. This history shows how far we've come, but it also reminds us that the road ahead is still full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Imagine your body is a tiny universe, full of tiny living creatures called microbes. They live in your gut, skin, and even your breath, and they help you stay healthy. These microbes are like tiny helpers, working behind the scenes to digest food, fight sickness, and even make your brain feel good. Scientists are learning to talk to these microbes, like reading a secret language, to find out how they affect our health and maybe even fix problems. But there's a big question. If we change these microbes, will we create more problems than we solve? That's where the tricky part starts. So the future of microbiome research is like building a spaceship. Exciting, full of promise, but also full of questions we need to answer carefully. To start, scientists set up a controlled environment, like a sterile lab or a specialized bioreactor, where microorganisms can thrive without interference from the outside world. Inside, they introduce a carefully selected mix of microbes, often from a sample taken from the human body, soil, or another environment of interest. They also control factors like temperature, pH, and oxygen levels to mimic the conditions the microbes would face in their natural habitat. This setup is the foundation of the experiment, where the microbiome begins to take shape, grow, and interact in ways that can be studied and understood. Once this initial setup is complete, the real work begins, tracking how these tiny worlds evolve and respond to their environment. Once the sample is collected, scientists use specialized sequencing tools to read the genetic material of each microbe present. This is like decoding a vast library of tiny, hidden languages within the body. These genetic sequences are then processed by powerful computers that compare them to known microbial databases. This step helps identify which microbes are present and what functions they might perform. The data is then analyzed to detect changes over time, such as shifts in microbial composition due to diet, medicine, or environment. This reveals patterns that could indicate health or disease. Finally, the results are interpreted by scientists to determine what these changes mean for the individual and their overall health, leading to personalized insights and potential interventions. Now comes the clever twist. The microbiome isn't just a collection of microbes. It's a dynamic ecosystem with its own kind of intelligence. These microbes communicate, cooperate, and even compete for resources, creating a complex network of interactions that scientists are only beginning to decode. Researchers have discovered that some microbes can send chemical signals to each other, like a biochemical language, allowing them to coordinate their behavior. This means the microbiome isn't just reacting to the body, it's actively shaping its environment in real time. But here's the catch. These signals aren't always friendly. Some microbes produce harmful compounds, while others can manipulate their hosts for their own survival. This means the microbiome is more like a battlefield than a passive system. So, the real challenge isn't just understanding what the microbiome does. It's understanding how it does it. And that means developing tools to see, measure, and even influence these complex interactions in ways we've never imagined before. Underneath the hype, the science is moving with precision, like a well-oiled machine. Researchers are sequencing microbial DNA at scale, using tools that make it possible to map the human microbiome with unprecedented detail. They're not just looking at what's there. They're trying to understand how these microbes interact, communicate, and even influence our genes. It's like decoding a complex language that's been written in the dark for millennia. But with all this power comes a question. Who controls these microbes? And who benefits from their use? The science is brilliant, but it's also shaping the future of medicine, agriculture, and even our identity. The science is humming, but it's not just about what we can do. It's about what we should do. And that's where the real challenge lies. Imagine your gut as a tiny, bustling city, full of different neighborhoods, each hosting a unique group of microbes, all playing their own roles in your health. Some microbes are like friendly locals, helping you digest food and fight off invaders, while others are more like tourists, just passing through. Now, think of your microbiome as the city's government, constantly negotiating, balancing, and adapting to ensure the whole city runs smoothly. If something goes wrong, like a new pollutant entering the city, the microbiome can either adapt or collapse, depending on how well it's managed. This analogy is simple, but it captures the complexity of the microbiome. It's not just a collection of organisms. It's a living, evolving system that shapes your health in ways we're only beginning to understand. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. Imagine a world inside you, where trillions of microbes live, unseen, yet they shape your health in ways you never imagined. These microbes are not just passengers, they are collaborators, influencing digestions, immunity, and even your mood. The human microbiome is a complex ecosystem, and its disruption can lead to chronic illness, yet it also holds the key to powerful healing. From probiotics to fecal transplants, the science of microbiome therapy is transforming medicine, one microbe at a time. In this video, we're going to explore the fascinating world of microbiome therapy and how it's revolutionizing the way we think about health. The human microbiome is a vast ecosystem of microorganisms that coexist with us, outnumbering our own cells by 10 to 1. These microbes reside in every nook and cranny of our body, from the gut to the skin, and their collective influence extends far beyond digestion. The gut microbiome in particular is the most densely populated and studied. It plays a critical role in nutrient absorptions, immune system regulation, and even mood and cognition. Imbalances here can lead to a range of health issues, from inflammation to mental health disorders. However, probiotics are not a one-size-fits-all solution. The effectiveness can vary based on the strain, dosage, and individual gut composition. This has led to the development of more advanced targeted therapies like fecal microbiota transplantation. Fecal microbiota transplantation, or FMT, involves transferring a fecal sample from a healthy donor to a recipient. This method is used primarily for recurrent Clostridioides difficile infections, where conventional treatments often fail. Despite its controversial reputation, FMT is a powerful tool that highlights the fundamental importance of microbial balance. It underscores the idea that our health is not just about what we eat, but also about the microbes that inhabit us. Your gut is home to more than 38 trillion bacteria, more than the number of stars in the Milky Way. These microbes influence your immune system, brain function, and even mood. The microbiome isn't just a passive ecosystem. It actively communicates with your body through biochemical signals, shaping your health in ways you may not even realize. Therapies like probiotics and fecal transplants are not just medical tools. They're a way to restore the body's ancient symbiosis and reclaim control over your health. Understanding your microbiome is no longer a niche topic. It's a key to unlocking the future of personalized medicine and preventative health. The concept of microbiome therapy has roots in ancient civilizations, where people observed the link between diet, health, and the environment. Early healers used fermented foods and natural remedies to restore balance in the body, unknowingly harnessing the power of beneficial microbes. In the 19th century, scientists like Louis Pasteur and Joseph Lister began to understand the role of microbes in health and disease. Their work laid the foundation for modern microbiology and the recognition that gut flora plays a critical role in immunity and digestion. The 20th century saw the rise of probiotics, with researchers like L.A. Metchnikoff popularizing the idea that certain bacteria could extend lifespan and improve digestion. This era marked the beginning of a scientific approach to microbiome health. In the 1980s and 1990s, medical science took a bold turn with the development of fecal microbiota transplantation. Initially used to treat severe Clostridioides difficile infections, this therapy demonstrated the potential to restore microbial balance in the gut with remarkable success. Today, microbiome therapy is a rapidly evolving field, blending ancient wisdom with cutting-edge science. From personalized probiotics to advanced fecal transplants, the journey from gut flora to health is a testament to human curiosity and medical innovation. Imagine your body is a city, and your gut is its kitchen. Trillions of tiny workers, called microbes, live there, doing jobs like helping you digest food and fighting off bad guys. When things get messy in the kitchen, like when you're sick or stressed, some workers leave and others come in. This is when your body needs help from good guys, like probiotics or even a special kind of food called a fecal transplant. Probiotics are like friendly snacks you eat to help the good workers come back. Fecal transplants are like sending in a team of superheroes to clean up the mess and restore order. These tools help your body's kitchen get back to work, keeping you healthy and strong. It's all about balance, just like how a city needs its workers to keep running smoothly. Before any microbiome therapy begins, a thorough assessment is conducted to understand the patient's current microbial balance. This includes detailed medical history, dietary analysis, and microbiome sampling through stool tests. Specialized labs then process the sample to identify the specific microbial composition. This step is crucial for tailoring the treatment to the patient's unique needs. For fecal microbiota transplants, a donor is carefully selected based on health criteria and compatibility to ensure the microbiome is safe and suitable for the recipient. The selected microbiome material is then processed through a series of sterilization and filtration steps to eliminate harmful pathogens, while preserving beneficial microbes. The microbiome's influence begins at the molecular level, where specific bacterial species produce bioactive compounds that interact with the host cells. These compounds can modulate immune responses and influence metabolic pathways, setting the stage for therapeutic outcomes. These interactions are not random. They're guided by the precise composition of the microbial community. For example, certain bacteria can produce short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation, while others may secrete enzymes that break down harmful substances. The host's body then responds by altering gene expression, hormone levels, and even neural signaling, creating a feedback loop that reinforces the therapeutic effect. This is how the microbiome can influence everything from digestion to mental health. This mechanism is why microbiome therapy isn't just about introducing microbes. It's about restoring a functional, balanced ecosystem that communicates with the host in a coordinated and dynamic way. Understanding this molecular and systematic interaction is key to developing targeted and effective microbiome-based treatments that go beyond simple supplementation. The clever twist lies in the balance between the donor and the recipient. While the donor's microbiome is the foundation, the recipient's own gut flora plays a critical role in determining which microbes will thrive and which will fade. This means the transplant is not a one-size-fits-all solution. The recipient's existing microbial community acts as a filter, selecting which bacteria will integrate into their gut ecosystem. This dynamic interaction is why personalized microbiome therapy is so promising. By tailoring the transplant to the recipient's unique microbial profile, we can maximize the chances of long-term success. In essence, the clever twist is not just in the transfer of microbes, but in the way the recipient's own biology shapes the outcome of the therapy. This understanding of the microbiome as an ecosystem, rather than a collection of isolated organisms, is what makes microbiome therapy both complex and incredibly powerful. At the core of microbiome therapy lies a complex web of microbial interactions, where each species plays a distinct and often interdependent role in maintaining ecological balance within the gut. These interactions are governed by chemical signals, nutrient exchange, and even competition, creating an environment where the right balance can promote health and the wrong one can lead to disease. This level of understanding allows for targeted interventions, such as engineering probiotics to deliver specific therapeutic compounds, or guiding the immune system through microbiome-based signals. The science is evolving rapidly, moving beyond the gut to explore the microbiome's influence on the brain, the skin, and even the cardiovascular system. As we uncover more, the field is shifting from a one-size-fits-all approach to a personalized, precision-based strategy that respects the diversity and complexity of microbial life. Imagine your gut as a bustling city, where millions of residents, bacteria, live in harmony, each playing a role in the city's health and function. Some bacteria are like the firefighters, working to put out the flames of inflammation, while others are like the trash collectors, cleaning up toxins and waste. Fecal transplants are like bringing in a whole new city, one that has been tested and proven to work, to restore the original balance and function. Just like a city needs the right mix of people, the gut needs the right mix of bacteria to function properly and maintain health. This analogy isn't perfect, but it's gloriously done, and it gets the point across with clarity and truth. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end. You've probably heard of the gut-brain connection, but what if I told you your body is a universe of tiny, invisible life, and they're not just living in you, they're living with you? These microbes, numbering in the trillions, aren't just passengers. They're cohabitants, shaping your digestion, mood, and even your immune system in ways we're only beginning to understand. This microscopic world isn't just about bacteria. It's an ecosystem of viruses, fungi, and archaea, all playing roles in the symphony of your health. And here's the kicker. Your microbiome isn't static. It changes with your diet, your emotions, even your thoughts, meaning you can shape it and in turn shape yourself. So what if I told you your microbes could be more than just a part of you? They could be a mirror, reflecting your health, your habits, and even your future. So what exactly are we talking about? The microbiome is the collection of microbes, bacteria, fungi, viruses, and archaea that live in and on our bodies. These tiny organisms outnumber our human cells by 10 to 1, and they're not just hitchhikers, they're essential to our health. Most of these microbes call our gut home, but they're also found in our skin, mouth, nose, and even in our eyes. Each of us has a unique microbial fingerprint, shaped by our genes, environment, and lifestyle. These microbes perform vital functions, digesting food, synthesizing vitamins, training our immune system, and even influencing our mood. In many ways, they're not just part of us, they are us. Understanding the microbiome isn't just about science, it's about understanding ourselves. It's a window into the ancient, invisible world that has shaped human evolution and continues to shape our health and identity. You've probably heard about the gut-brain connection, but what you might not realize is that your microbiome is actually your body's most personal communication network. It sends signals to your brain, influencing mood, cognition, and even behavior in ways we're only beginning to understand. Your microbiome doesn't just affect your mental state. It also plays a role in how your body handles stress. Research shows that gut microbes can modulate the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and GABA, which are key to emotional regulation. When you eat, sleep, or take medication, you're not just affecting your body. You're changing the ecosystem of trillions of microbes that call you home. This isn't just biology. It's your personal microbiome, shaped by your choices and environment. Understanding your microbiome isn't just about science. It's about understanding yourself. Every decision you make, from what you eat to how you manage stress, has a ripple effect on this invisible, yet powerful community living within you. The story of the microbiome began with the first breath of life on Earth. Ancient microbes shaped our planet's atmosphere, paving the way for complex organisms to evolve. These tiny pioneers were the foundation of everything that came after. As life diversified, so did microbes. They colonized every niche, from the deepest ocean trenches to the highest mountain peaks. Their survival was not just about thriving, but about adapting to the most extreme conditions known to science. When animals emerged, microbes followed. They became part of the digestive system, breaking down food and extracting energy. This partnership was crucial for the survival of our ancestors, enabling them to process complex diets. In human history, microbes have been both allies and adversaries. They aided in agriculture, medicine, and even warfare. Yet, it was only in the last century that we began to see them not just as invisible bugs, but as an essential part of our biology. Now, with modern science, we're starting to understand that the microbiome is not just a collection of microbes, but a complex ecosystem. It's a mirror of our health, our environment, and even our behavior. And it's only beginning to reveal its secrets. Imagine your body as a city, and microbes are the tiny workers that keep everything running. They clean, build, and help you feel good every day. These workers are not just in your gut, they're in your skin, your mouth, and even your nose. They're everywhere, and they're part of you. If you think of your microbes as a mirror, they show you who you are, your health, your habits, even your mood. They're like your secret friends. When you take care of your microbes, you take care of yourself. And when you don't, they tell you something is wrong, like a tiny alarm bell. So your microbes are not just living in you, they're telling your story. And if you listen, they can help you feel better, live longer, and be happier. The microbiome begins with a handshake between us and the world around us. Every time we take a breath, we're not just inhaling oxygen, we're welcoming in a whole universe of microbes. From the moment we're born, our bodies are colonized by microbes from the environment, our parents, and even our first meal. It's not just a random collection. It's a beginning of a carefully curated ecosystem. These microbes start to take up residence in our bodies, settling in the skin, the mouth, the gut, and even the eyes. Each one has a role, and together they form a living network that will shape our health from the start. This isn't just a one-time event. Our microbiome is a dynamic community, constantly changing based on what we eat, where we live, and even our stress levels. It's a living, breathing mirror of who we are. So the setup is simple but profound. Our bodies are not just hosts, they're homes. And the microbes that live inside us are not just visitors, they're partners in the story of who we become. Once the microbes enter the gut, they start to colonize, forming a complex web of interactions. They communicate through chemical signals, exchanging nutrients and information like a silent language of survival. These signals shape the gut environment, influencing which microbes thrive and which are outcompeted. It's a dynamic ecosystem where cooperation and competition are constantly at play. Through this constant dialogue, the microbiome modulates inflammation and supports the body's defenses, acting as both a guardian and a regulator of immune responses. This intricate mechanism ensures that the microbiome is not just a passive inhabitant of the gut, but an active participant in shaping our health and well-being. The clever twist comes when the microbiome doesn't just react to our environment, it actively shapes it. These microbes are like silent architects, subtly influencing our metabolism, mood, and even our immune system. They do this by producing neurotransmitters, regulating inflammation, and even altering how we perceive food. It's not just our body reacting to the microbiome. It's the microbiome guiding our biology. But how does this bidirectional influence actually happen? The microbiome sends signals through the gut-brain axis, a complex network of nerves, hormones, and immune responses. This is the clever twist. Our microbes are not just passengers in our bodies. They are co-authors of our health, rewriting our biology in ways we are only beginning to understand. Understanding this dynamic relationship is the key to unlocking a more holistic view of health, one that sees us not just as individuals, but as ecosystems in motion. Underneath the surface of our bodies, a symphony of microbes is playing, unseen but essential. These tiny organisms, numbering in the trillions, are not just passively living. They are actively communicating, adapting, and influencing our very biology. Each of these microbes has its own language, its own role, and its own way of surviving. Some produce vitamins, others break down food, and some even help regulate our immune system in ways we're only beginning to understand. The science is humming, not in a loud, disruptive way, but in a steady, rhythmic pulse. It's the quiet, invisible work of an ecosystem that has been shaping us for millennia, evolving alongside us. To truly understand ourselves, we must listen to this hum. It's not just about what we eat or how we live. It's about the invisible, living network that makes us who we are. This is the science humming underneath. It's the heartbeat of our microbiome. And it's shaping the story of who we are, every single day. Imagine your body as a bustling city, and your microbiome is the entire population. Not just the people, but the microbes, the bacteria, the fungi, the viruses. They're everywhere, working in the background, shaping your health, your mood, even your genes. Now, if you wanted to understand this city, you'd look at the people. But you'd also look at the infrastructure, the sewage systems, the green spaces, the trash. The microbiome is like that. It's not just who lives there, but how they live and what they do. You can't see the microbiome with the naked eye, but you can see its effects. Just like you can't see the sewage system, but you can see the cleanliness of the streets or the smell of the air. So, the microbiome isn't just a part of you. It's a reflection. It's like a mirror that shows you more than your face. It shows you your habits, your environment, your health, your history. And in that mirror, you see yourself, not just as you are, but as you could be. That's why studying the microbiome isn't just about science. It's about understanding ourselves in a way that feels both deeply personal and profoundly connected to the world around us. Comment this emoji if you made it to the end.